Got another Bible contradiction. Atheist, I think, has us this time. He says, the Bible contradicts itself about whether or not Jonah was swallowed by a great fish or a whale. Let's read the passages. Jonah 1:17 says, Now the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. Whereas Matthew 12 and verse 40, Jesus speaking says, For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the great fish. Well, maybe they are referring to a specific translation. We've seen that before. Where does it render the passage as whale? Let's look at the New International Version. When he was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of a huge fish. The New Living Translation says the great fish. The English Standard says great fish. The King James says the whale's. There it is, the whale's belly. So you have to insist on the King James translation. No, not the New King James translation, mind you, but the King James translation specifically. Now, if you're going to insist that one specific translation among hundreds of others, with access to the original Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic, and noting that Jesus used the same term that is used in Jonah chapter 1, you're going to have a problem saying that these contradict each other. What you would be able to say is your translation makes a poor assessment as to whether or not a whale is a fish or a mammal, which wasn't the kind of thing you'd expect in language in the first century, but I digress. When someone says the Bible contradicts itself, it is something that we should take seriously. If the Bible is both claiming two equal and opposite things are both true that cancel each other out, then of course we'd have a problem. If Jonah says Jonah was swallowed by a great fish or even by a whale, and of course Jesus were to emphatically and clearly say Jonah was never swallowed by any animal, aquatic or on land, that would be a cancellation. What they're nitpicking categories of creatures, and you're a marine biologist, maybe I can respect your profession in these specifics, but the issue here is they have to misrepresent what the passages are saying. Insist on one translation, maybe two, that would say whale, when in reality that was the understanding of the translators, and of course, going to the original languages, it was referring to just a large sea animal. You can, of course, figure out ways to harmonize this. A contradiction would mean there would be no way to harmonize it. The issue when someone brings up a contradiction is, first and foremost, they oftentimes don't read the passages. They're just handed information from their Reddit forums or whatever, and you have to deal with the grief. But when it comes down to it, the easiest way to handle these things is to first look them up. And if they specifically give you the King James translation in this conversation, then I'm sure you would have maybe had to look things up a little bit longer. But if you had read, as most people would, a Bible today where they're just going, that isn't in conflict at all, they would end up with egg on their face and have to explain themselves. And hopefully that would lead to more productive conversations. But in the future, if any atheist is going to share these things with us, please just look up the passage first. This is getting silly.